Check 1 2. Oh, there it is. Hello. Good afternoon. Thank you, David. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Grace. I only wasted 7 minutes of my time just talking to myself. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Hopefully, I am back. Let me know with a thumbs up or a good job or thank you. Hey, it's okay. This kind of stuff happens on live TV all the time, and I'm just a one-man band right now. So hopefully it's working now. Let me know, everybody. Are we good? Are we good? The one time my webcam is working and my audio wasn't. If it's not one thing, it's the other thing. You know how it is, everyone. Um, all right, thank you. That's why no one was interacting with me. How long were y'all gonna let this go? But it's no big deal. I've done way more embarrassing things in my life. This is just another drop in the bucket. But it's okay. March. Oh my gosh, let's talk about it. Is National. Oh wait, why is this? It's National. Right here. The big one I think is National Women's Week or National Women's History Month. And that, I mean, it's just, it tells you about it in its title. We're going to celebrate women's. Yeah, thank you. Technical difficulties is life. It's just part of the deal, you know. So March is National Women's History Month. So go out there and just enjoy the work of women who paved the way for other women in their in their profession. So whether it's like the first woman aviation, the pilot Amelia Earhart, or it was the first woman vice president or first woman anything, go out there and celebrate them, post about them. Now I can't see me. Oh no. Oh man. on Firefox now. Am I back? Anybody? We see you. Oh, what's up, Saul? Thank you. Whew, yeah, that was quick. Thank you for tuning in. All right. Take two, right? So we'll start where I left off. So thank you all for hanging in there. Let's just jump to thank you. Yes, right. Awesome. Let's just jump to the interesting story of the week that I pulled up over the week. Thank you all. Whoa, what? That's never happened to me before. I'm sorry. Fast web of vengeance. This story's gonna make up for it. Trust me. It's a very impressive, deranged story that I found over the week that I wanted to share with you guys. Go away. Let me see. Please share on my screen. Life is just full of challenges, everyone. Don't forget that. Come on. There it is. All right. Thank you all for sticking with us. Thank you, Nicole, Grace, Saul, for I don't know what's wrong with StreamYard on Chrome, Google Chrome, but I will be writing a stern letter of annoyance to StreamYard about Google Chrome. If you are just joining us now, this is the 43rd episode, and you think I would get this right by the 43rd episode. But this is the 43rd episode of The Water Cooler. We talked about national days and holidays for March, but now we're just going to get to the nitty-gritty stuff, the good stuff. And I even took some notes for this story because it's such a web of lies and vengeance, as you can see. And it talks about what people are willing to do just to get back at someone. Yeah, loyal water cooler fans, stand up, tap in the chat. Thank you, Saul. So this story is it was mind-blowing when I first read it. It's called A Vast Web of Vengeance, and it says, outrageous lies destroyed Guy Babcock's online reputation. While he went hunting for their source, what he discovered was worse than he could have imagined. So this gentleman here, that is Guy, and he got caught up in a huge web of just hate and vengeance from an unlikely source. And there was my personal email, in case anybody wanted it. But we're going to scroll down a little bit here, and I'm going to just read this here. So Guy Babcock, he remembers he was just at home, and he's from England. So it was September 2018 in a village outside of Oxford, and his father, there was a frantic call from his father, and it says, I don't want to upset you, but there is some bad stuff on the internet. So for any of us who might have any kind of experience with the internet or what people can say or do on the internet against us, this is a bad sign, right? The results were full of posts on strange sites accusing him of being a thief, a fraudster, and a pedophile. So the posts list Mr. Babcock's contact details and his employers. So not only was it saying like he's a fraudster, he's a scammer, he's a pedophile, it's also sharing his personal contact information, even where he works. And for those of us who go out in the field to get hired, sometimes employers will look up they'll Google you. All right, anyway. Oh, my page went away. StreamYard is not having a good day. We're not having a good time on StreamYard today. I'm giving it a thumbs down after this. Maybe I should just go straight into. Here you go. All right. So, Mr. Babcock, he goes home and his dad tells him, hey, there's some really bad stuff on the internet. People are saying he's a fraudster, he's a scammer, and a pedophile all over the internet. And he Googled his name. He Googled his brother's name. He Googled his wife, his sister, his nephew, his brother-in-law, his cousin, even his aunt. They were all being targeted for, they were saying that the women were scammers and they were thieves, and they were saying that the men also were pedophiles and abusers of all kinds. And Mr. Babcock was saying, man, who could I have made so angry for them to lash out at me for this? Let me move this. Mr. Babcock, he was stunned. He was saying, man, who could I have gotten so mad at, or who could I have done so wrong for them to lash out at me like this? Let me try sharing the screen one more time. Now it's just not letting me share. Anyway, so the posts were slanderous, and they were all mostly on these pages on this website called Ripoff Report, where there's no fact checking. Anyone can post whatever they want about anyone. And the website itself, Ripoff Report, they can't do anything about it. You can't sue the website, and in order to take these slanderous posts off the internet, there were other companies that were offering like you pay them to try and remove it and to go to court for you, but Mr. Babcock determined that was like extortion. Okay. So Mr. Babcock eventually was compiling a list of all the posts that he was getting. Him and his brother, who I believe lived in Canada, were both compiling all the posts, and it turned out to be over 100 pages long, a Google sheet 100 pages long of just posts about their family, about themselves, and all kinds of stuff. So it got to be 100 pages long on Google Sheets. And one post they found on a blog, and it was just a post from 2018, and he called Mr. Babcock a scammer, and a janitor posing as an IT consultant, and they called him a ripoff and all that kind of thing. But he noticed something on this post, and it's right there, Chris Pollard, and he noticed that it had a little photo. So they looked at the photo and they recognized the person as an ex-employee of his father, who used to own a Remax, real estate agency office. There you go. Share. Sorry, I'm trying to get the... So he recognized this person. Oh my gosh, here we go. All right, let me get the screen up here so y'all can see it. And he recognized this person as a Miss Nadir Atas. So this was basically just a disgruntled old employee of his father's Remax agency, and he found out it was her posting all these really outlandish, really scarring posts about him and his family, all online on these ripoff reports. She's posting all his identity. She's posting his place of work, his contact information, calling him a pedophile, and all that kind of stuff. So it was Miss Nadine Atas. Sorry this was so rushed through, but Miss Natas refused to divulge much about herself. And when they interviewed her for this interview, it was very funny that she was very shy about it. She didn't want to share much. She said, "quote Anyone who Googles my name, this will come up, and I don't want it to come up." And of course, that's very um, it's very funny because she's the type of person who would do the exact opposite, and she would share anything about anyone else's life very easily. So there she is. That's Nadine Atas. So it turned out she had gone through some trauma while she was working at that gentleman's Remax office, and that her brother had a mental episode and he shot their mother in the hand. And yes, very ironic. Thank you, Saul. I can't even think right now. But yes, it's very ironic because she's the type of person who just divulges everyone's information on the internet. She's posting everyone's personal information, calling them pedophiles, all that kind of stuff. And anytime she would get sued for defamation or saying anything bad about on the internet, she would go after the people who were suing her, and she'd go after the lawyers and the lawyers' families, and even the lawyers of the lawyers that were suing her. It's a whole big thing. It's a huge web of vengeance, as they say, a vast web of vengeance, some would say. And she did over 12,000 posts, and she had over 100 plaintiffs against her. And she was doing this all from, and this is the kicker, she was doing all these posts from a public library at the University of Toronto. And that just goes to show that there's people out there who hold grudges and they don't know what to do other than just, they just go and do the worst kind of thing. They put all your information online, they lie about you, and you can't sue these companies. You can't sue off the ripoff report. Or Pinterest was also a really big one that was sharing her posts, or like she was uploading all these posts onto Pinterest. Pinterest was trying to get their hands clean off of it, and we were saying, you can't sue us. We're not saying anything. We're just providing a platform for this person. You'd have to sue her, that sort of thing. So it was a whole huge mess caused by this Nadine Atas. And yeah, I'll set a link here in the comments about that story if you want to read it. Or it also gives you an option to listen to the story, which I did last night. But yeah, very interesting, very sad. It's sad because you can obviously tell that she has some mental demons, some mental issues. Her family did as well. But that sort of thing, that shouldn't happen, especially in the digital age. Yeah, sounds messy and evil. Yeah, I agree, Grace. So if you ever get done wrong by someone, you get fired, you think it's a bad fire, or you think it's not fair, I don't know. I wouldn't go on to the internet and call them a scammer and a pedophile and, say all this kind of a fraudster, that kind of thing. I guess you just keep the ball rolling, kind of like what we did today, right, on the water cooler. There's an article. Thank you. It's from the New York Times. Yeah, there it is. Change my Google results. Well, that's different. But yeah, we kind of kept it rolling. Next week, fingers crossed, we'll figure this out. I think the problem is with Google Chrome. Right now, I'm using Mozilla Firefox, so maybe Firefox is a little better than Chrome in terms of streaming. I don't know. We'll find out next week for sure. I know this was the third week in a row that this kind of stuff happened. The technical difficulties, but we kept it rolling. I appreciate you guys sticking with me. We didn't even get to talk about what's new at MPL, but we'll talk about that next week. Oh, next week I'm going to share the virtual programming. You know what? I'll do it right now. Why not? Y'all can stick with me just a little bit longer. Oh, I don't have it. Never mind. Next week, we'll talk about what's new at MPL, and we'll talk about the virtual programming calendar. And also next week, we might even have a special guest. I'm still working on that. It's going to be a member of the community, along with a colleague of mine. and we're going to talk about what they bring to the community, what we will do. We stuck with you this long, right? Yeah. In the case of my brother, he stuck with me for what? So many years, over 20 some years. Am I in my 20? No, I'm past my 20s. But anyway, I'm going on a tangent now. So next week, I promise I'll get this right. We'll get it right, and we'll be happy. We'll be happy. We'll be in here. We'll have a better view. Right now, you're just looking at me, but we'll have more stories to talk about. Like I said, we'll have a special guest. We'll talk about the virtual programming coming for March, and we'll get it right next time. I promise. Thank you all for sticking with me. See y'all next week, same time, same place. And so long. Hug. Peace out, everyone. Let me just play the countdown for you guys. There we go. All right. Bye bye.